Om Namah Shivaya. Hello my friends all over the world. I'm your host, Srisubroto, a scholar and a lover of Indian spirituality. In the series of talks, Indian Spirituality and Less Thought for Humanity, I have taken a slightly different topic today. And this time the topic goes on a single man, an individual. But for me, he is not an individual alone. He is an ideal, a fiery spirit that inspired millions. And his base was Indian spirituality. So to understand Indian spirituality, the essence of it, he is a perfect man, a perfect representative for that. But before going into the main issue, let me start with a line of this man, of this fiery man, which struck me many years ago, which haunts me years together. The line goes this way: so long as the millions live in hunger and ignorance, I hold every man a traitor, who having been educated at their expense, pays not the least heed to them. This line attracts me, hurts me, because I started thinking whether I'm a traitor, because my country has spent so much for me, for my education, for my growth, for my living, but I did nothing of that sort for the people of this country. Am I a traitor? This question continuously haunted me for years together, and I tried to find out an answer. But the speaker of this sentence is none other than Swami Vivekananda. Perhaps you have already heard about him, a fiery spirit, an epitome of Indian spirituality, a condensed India, a cyclonic monk. In so many ways he has been called, named. I love to talk about him this time from three different aspects. Though he has got only 39 years, he died in 39 years only, but he left a huge life, a huge contribution for this country and for the humanity. But let us try to understand in my small way, very small way, this great man of Bengal and India, Swami Vivekananda, three different aspects. His inspiration as an inspirer, two, as an establisher of Indian identity, and an image giver, image of India, giver of an image of India. Thirdly, as a lover of humanity and all living beings. Let me start with inspirer. Swami Vivekananda as an inspirer. He's a superb inspirer. Perhaps I never heard the words that he made, the way he made, though many words are given, have been taken from Upanishads and Vedas, but the ways he made and the inspiration that he has been created is enormous. His very famous words are, arise, awake and stop not, till the goal is reached. I sometimes like to repeat this way: arise, awake and stop not, till the freedom of this country attained. Uttishtata Jagrata Prapuvaran Bodhata of Kathopanishad. He has many such inspiring words, sentences. For example, strength is life, weakness is death, faith in ourselves, faith in God. This is the secret of greatness. And so many others. You are the children of God. Tatvamasi Shetaketu. He inspired millions because he found a contradiction while he was there. What is the contradiction? That India has a glorious past, but Indians are living in a very pitiable condition. Half-clad, half-fed, ill-educated, I should say illiterate, ignorant of the past, and accepted slavery as something permanent. Indians were in a pitiable condition at the time, tortured for nearly in the Mughal period, and in the British period too, because his time of the 19th century was under British rule. So he accepted the challenge to inspire, to rise and awake people. He travelled from Kashmir to Kanyakumari and tried the same thing, to rise people, to awake people, and at the same time to show us the duty, the majority, to educated people, to rich people, the duty towards these millions, half-fed, half-clothed, ill-educated millions of Indians. His inspiration gave birth. The Indians struggle for independence. Though I'm not going to say that he is the sole responsible for this thing, but Indian struggle for independence got its real character because of this man, Swami Vivekananda. Remember, he inspired men like, or leaders like Sri Aurobindo Ghosh, Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, Bal Gangadhar Tilak, and Mahatma Gandhi too. And there were millions others, particularly those from revolutionary groups in Bengal. They were inspired by Swamiji to a very great degree. Then, as an establisher of Indian identity, not only here in India, but before the world, perhaps that affects India in very many ways. It was September 27, 1893. He went to America, Chicago. You know all that famous story. He gave a speech before the Parliament of World Religions. He started with the remarkable words, still vibrating, sisters and brothers of America. These words made him instant famous, instantly. People clapped for more than 2 minutes. And after a line, he made that remarkable statement, which is important in this context. He said, "I thank you in the name of the most ancient order of the monks of the world. I thank you in the name of the mother of religions." Now try to attend these two words, the most ancient order of the monks in the world, and then the mother of religions, because he was representing Vedic religion, or the Sanatana Dharma, religion of the Vedas and the Upanishads. So he uttered these important words, the most ancient order of the monks in the world and the mother of all religions. He for the first time announced, declared before the world, that India has its own culture, very ancient, much more ancient than what you have. This famous speech got so many press reviews. There was one review, one statement, in one press. He was asking why we are sending priests to India to preach religion, when their religion, their culture is so rich, is so glorious. It's very interesting. And there is another very interesting point. That parliament, the world religions were represented by other Indians too. One from Buddhism, representative from Buddhism, another from Jainism, another from Theosophical Society. They were there, but they were for their own religions or communities alone. But this man, this young man, has represented the whole India. It's a huge India with a huge history, with a glorious history. He showed to the world. This is immensely important. Swami Vivekananda became famous, and he gave innumerable lectures throughout the world. I want to quote one more quotation from him, where he gave the image of India. He said, "O India, forget not that the ideal of thy womanhood is Sita, Savitri, Damayanti. Forget not that the God thou worshippest is the great ascetic of ascetics, the all-renouncing Shankara, the Lord of Uma. Forget not that the lower class, the ignorant, the poor, the illiterate, the cobbler, the sweeper, are thy flesh and blood, are thy brothers. Thou brave one, be bold, take courage, be proud that thou art an Indian, and proudly proclaim, I am an Indian, every Indian is my brother." He gave a picture of India and at the same time showed us the mirror what we should do. What is our duty towards our country? He has a dream for India. He has a dream for his motherland. He once said, "One vision I see clear as light before me, that the ancient mother is awakened once again, once more, sitting on a throne, rejuvenated, more glorious than ever. Proclaim her to all the world with a voice of peace and benediction." This was his dream for the country. I don't know whether we have achieved it or not. It's up to you to find it out. But he has a dream for the country. Now we'll take the third aspect of Swami Vivekananda. The third aspect is his love for humanity, love for all living beings. If you don't understand, or if you don't attend to this, perhaps you will miss Vivekananda. Because the source of all his actions, all his writings, all his talks, all his speeches stands on this very love. I love to quote one poem, a Bengali poem written by him. Brahmote Keet Paramanu Sarvabhute Se Premamoy Mon Pran Shorir Arpon Kor Shokhe এসবার পায় বহুরূপে সম্মুখে তোমার ছাড়ি কথা খুঁজিছ ঈশ্বর জীবে প্রেম করে যেই জন সেই জন সেবিছে ঈশ্বর. What are you searching for God when God is everywhere before you? Since all human beings, all animals, all living beings are created by the Brahman. Whoever loves all beings actually serve the God. This is the Vedantic philosophy, totally given here in a very brief manner. Totally Vedantism. Because when you understand that God, Brahman, the Supreme Being, is the creator of everything. Isha Vaishmidang Sharvang Jatkinch Jagatyang Jagat. When you think Purnam Yada Purnamidang Purnad Purnamudachyate. When you say everything is created from the Brahman, then you cannot deny the divineness of each and every individual, each and every living being. You can't deny that. That's the Vedantism. That's Advaita Vedanta. And in a way, that's Vedanta Swamiji talked about. When he talked about in the practical field, he said it's a practical Vedanta. Ladies and gentlemen, without understanding, without touching this point, Swamiji's love towards humanity, you can't touch the heart of Swami Vivekananda's teachings to the world. He said, and I quote, "May I born again and again and suffer thousands of miseries, so that I may worship the only God that exists, the only God I believe in, the sum total of all souls, and above all, my God the wicked, my God the miserable, my God the poor of all races, of all species, is a special object of my worship." Swamiji told. This is the heart of that man. Now, saying all these, let me talk about a little bit the situation that prevailing today in India. We have two important situations, important issues that we should attend to. One, there is an identity crisis amongst millions who were once converted to other religion. One journalist say they are thinking themselves na ghar ka na ghat ka. They don't find their home in their own religion, which was developed in a different country, and not they are accepted totally or are accepting totally where they live, the culture of this land. They're suffering, seriously suffering. This is called identity crisis. And Swamiji's teachings can help them. And there is another issue. The Breaking India forces, which is very active. It's not new. It has started since independence. People, different forces wants to break India into different, say, countries and nations or whatever. And when you heard very recently, say 1 year or two, educated students of an university talking or sloganing, as Bharat tere tukre honge inshallah inshallah, you feel hard, you feel pain. Because the huge country of India, a blessed country with an ancient culture and so rich a culture, where there are forces trying to disrupt everything. For me, Vivekananda can help in these cases as well. If they feel that they are alienated, if they feel they are not accepted by the society, then please read Vivekananda. Swami Vivekananda is a lighthouse, is a powerhouse. It's up to us to take that power, to take that light, and to enlighten us. Still, you can ask the question what we have received from Vivekananda, what India received from him. We received inspiration, we received Indian identity internationally, we received love for humanity, leaving aside all divisions of religions, of caste and creed. The present situation is not very bright. For the last century, after his death, I didn't find anything brightness in it. People read Vivekananda, talk about it, make seminars all over, nationally, internationally. But the real change in the national level is very difficult to show. Now it's up to us. But that doesn't mean the Vivekananda is dead. That doesn't mean that Vivekananda becomes irrelevant. Remember, that's a great lie, a great false, a great ignorance on our part. I said already, Vivekananda is a lighthouse, is a powerhouse. It's up to us to derive power and light from him. He will give light to all of us, all the time. In him alone, you can find whole India, the ancient, the past, the present, and a nice direction for the future. My pranam to that great soul, to the great vehicle of Sri Ramakrishna, and the great son of Bengal, and of course of India. Hare Krishna.